Hi everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that I think almost everyone gets at least partially wrong. Inflammation. For a long time, people didn't even know what inflammation was. Then, as research evolved, the spotlight turned on it. Suddenly, chronic inflammation was linked to diabetes, cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, you name it. Some even started calling inflammation a disease in itself. I myself used to say things like, cancer is caused by chronic inflammation, but I've been correcting myself lately, because I simply don't believe that's true anymore. So what exactly is inflammation? If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I hold a firm belief that the body is intelligent. It knows what it's doing, and it knows how to heal itself, that is, if we let it. Mainstream medicine often takes the opposite view. If something goes wrong, the body must be under attack, and we need to fight back with drugs or surgery. Add to that our tendency to see enemies everywhere, and medicine becomes a battlefield, fighting diseases, killing bacteria, attacking tumors. It's a mindset that shapes how we approach health today. But here's the thing, inflammation isn't the enemy, it's part of the solution. Take fever for example. Historically, people understood fever differently. They'd let it run its course, maybe putting a cool cloth on the forehead if it got too high. But they knew fever wasn't the problem. It was the body's way of solving the problem. Raising body temperature speeds up immune function, boosts circulation, and even makes it harder for certain parasites to survive. And did you know that white blood cells can actually work better at higher temperatures? So when we rush to suppress fever, we're essentially telling the body, hey, don't bother cleaning up, just leave the garbage there. Inflammation works in a similar way. Think of a mosquito bite. The redness and swelling aren't from the bite itself. They're the response. The body increases blood flow, summons the white blood cells, and starts neutralizing toxins. In a healthy system, once the job is done, the swelling fades, no extra effort is needed. In fact, if you look up the definition of inflammation, even on the websites of Harvard Medical School, Cleveland Clinic, or WebMD, they all talk about inflammation being a normal part of the body's response to injury or disease. The thing is, sometimes our system is already compromised, maybe since childhood, or because we're exposed to new toxins, allergens, or even unfamiliar mosquito species when we travel. That can make the inflammatory response feel bigger, itchier, more painful. That's usually when we reach for the anti-inflammatory pill or the cream. It's totally understandable, but not always wise. Because when we do that over and over, we're interfering with the body's natural cleanup crew. Imagine it like this. Your immune system sends soldiers to neutralize a threat. But if you keep sending orders saying, stand down, don't engage, too messy, the threat keeps hanging around, the soldiers keep piling up, but no one's actually allowed to do the job. Over time, you don't just have a battle, you have a stalemate, and that's chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation isn't the disease itself, it's the body's ongoing attempt to restore balance while being blocked or overwhelmed. I personally believe that what we have termed autoimmune diseases are also linked to what maybe we should instead be calling chronic toxicity. But we can talk about that one some of the time. Going back to inflammation, here's the thing. Running the inflammation program takes resources. It burns through energy, nutrients, and immune reserves. So when the body stays stuck in a constant low-grade inflammatory state, those resources aren't available for other jobs, like repairing tissues, producing hormones, or keeping your brain sharp. That's why chronic inflammation is linked to so many diseases, not because it's the cause, but because it's a side effect of the body constantly fighting upstream. So how do we deal with it? If inflammation is a response, then suppressing it isn't the long-term solution. We need to look instead at the underlying triggers. like toxins in food, such as pesticides, additives, rancid seed oils, environmental chemicals, plastics, heavy metals, pollution inside and also outside the home, lifestyle stresses like sleep deprivation, poor diet, lack of exercise, and of course emotional wounds like chronic stress, unresolved trauma, fear. Those are the bad guys. And the solution is twofold. First, stop interfering. Let the soldiers do their work. Sure, in extreme cases, medical intervention may be necessary. But day to day, popping anti-inflammatories at the first sign of discomfort just teaches the body to hold on to toxins. No real healing occurs there. Secondly, support the body. Give it the tools it needs: nourishing food, sunshine, grounding, clean water, rest, emotional release, and the soldiers will do their job. And did you know that exercise itself creates short-term inflammation? That's why muscles ache after workout. But the recovery process is where the real magic happens. The body rebuilds stronger, more resilient. That's a great example of inflammation working exactly as designed. So next time you get a bruise, a bite, or even a fever, maybe pause and notice the body's intelligence in action. It's summoning its resources, balancing, repairing, without needing our conscious input. Most of the time, our role is simply to get out of the way, and occasionally to give it the right kind of support. At the end of the day, it's all about shifting our mindset. The body isn't a battlefield, it's an orchestra. Sometimes the music gets loud, sometimes a little messy, but it's always moving towards harmony. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. There's so much about health that we've been taught backwards, and together we can start unlearning it.